Welcome back to all the students of Class 8. This is Karunesh Mishra from Lakshmi Prasad Memorial Public Schools, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Dear students, today we shall study about the water resources, one of the most important natural resources. In the previous video, we have discussed or gained the informations about the soil, one of the most important natural resources. We have discussed or study about the formations of soil, what is called soil, what are the types of soil found in India, and the soil conservations. Now we will discuss in detail about the water resources. So let's start water as a natural resources. Dear students, you all know very well that water is the basic to life. Without of it, we cannot imagine life on the planet Earth, and one of the most important renewable natural resources. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So this is the property of water. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. There is no any taste of water, nor odor, and it is not of any particular color. So water is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It is the only source that is available in three different forms: liquid, solid, and gas. In liquid form, it is found in oceans, river, and lakes. In gaseous forms, water and vapor in the atmosphere, and solid ice in the mountains and polar region. Water covers 71% of the earth's surface. The earth is rightly called the water planet or blue planet. Oceans cover two-thirds of the total surface of the earth, but all of it is not fit for human consumptions. Much of the fresh water that serves as a source of humans is provided by precipitations. Some of this water soaks into the ground and is stored in soils and pores of rocks. A small part of fresh water exists in the river and stream. All form of organism requires water to live, and so do humans. Freshwater distributions, you know about it that 97.5% of water on the surface of the earth is salt water. So what percentage of the water on the earth is salt water? 97.5% of the water on the surface of the earth is salt water and not fit for human use. We not fit for human use or with the purpose to drink because of its salinity. So most of the little fresh waters we have is frozen as ice sheets and mountain glaciers. Lakes, ponds, rivers, and streams are the source of fresh water. Wetlands such as swamps and marshes also have a fresh water. This water is salt free and accounts for less than 0.5% of the world's water supply. Water is not evenly distributed and neither can it be added or subtracted, but it remains in the constant motions, which you have already read about in a water cycle, that the water of lakes, seas, and rivers get evaporated with the rays of the sun. It goes upwards, and after getting cools, it helps in the formations of cloud. After the cloud get condensed, again it poured or the surface of the earth in the form of rain as a teeny droplets of water. So the water cycles, waters from ocean evaporates into air, then it falls as rain on the land, and this process is going on continuously. The amount of rainfall received in different parts of the world varies considerably. Some places receives heavy rainfall while others hardly get any. This is the reason why water supply also vary across the world. So water supply is not same, it is vary from place to place, because of the rainfall received by a particular area. Now let's study about the use of water. The use of water. Water usage varies from region to regions and also depends on the purposes for which it is used. Water is essential for our bodies, and everybody drinks it. Even animals drinks water for survival. It is used for washing innumerable things and items like clothes, vehicles, for constructions, bathing, etc. Water is also used for agricultural purposes, for the irrigations of the crops. Nearly 70% of the water is used in agriculture, mainly for irrigations. The main issue is that farmers are withdrawing water at a faster rate than it is being replenished. It is estimated that 3 cubic meters of the water is required to produce 1 kg of rice. According to UN Food and Agriculture Organizations (FAO), agriculture is responsible for the depletions of the most of the fresh water. Now, water used to generate hydroelectricity. Large-scale rivers, valley projects that provide water for irrigation also generate hydroelectricity and control flood waters. Hydroelectricity is used across the world, and it accounts for about 19% of the total electricity productions. These projects construct large dams across rivers. In all, there are 45,000 dams in the world. Canada is the largest producer of hydroelectricity, followed by the US and Brazil. Hydroelectricity provides cheap power. It also helps to reduce greenhouse gases. However, these projects have had negative impact on the environment. Large dams have led to loss of forest, wildlife and biodiversity. Hundreds of peoples have been displaced. Soils have been degraded by continuous irrigations and salinations. India has over 4,000 dams in operations. These are part of the multi-purpose project. The Hirakund project in Odisha, the Bhakra Nangal in Punjab, the Damodar Valley project in Bihar and West Bengal, the Tungabhadra project in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, and the Rihan project in Uttar Pradesh are a few of the multi-purpose projects in India. The dams have helped to increase agricultural productions greatly in India, but they have not been cost effective. Also, thousands of acres of land have been submerged while building these dams that have displaced humans and wildlife. Once again, revisions of the explanations. Water is one of the most important natural resources. It is the basic of life and one of the most important renewable natural resources. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It is only resource that is available in three different forms: liquid, gas, and solid. Oceans, rivers, and lakes are the examples of the liquid form of waters. Ice is the example of the solid form of water, and water vapors in the atmosphere is the examples of gaseous forms of water. 71% of the earth's surface is covered with waters. The earth is rightly called the water planet or blue planet. Oceans cover 2/3 of the total areas of the earth, but all of it is not fit for human consumption. Much of the fresh water that serves as a source for humans is provided by precipitations. Some of these water soaks into the ground and is stored in the solid and the pores of rocks. Under the pores of rocks, a small part of fresh water exits in the rivers and streams. All form of organization requires water to live, and so do humans. All form of organisms are required fresh waters or requires water to live, and so do humans. We need water for drinking, bathing, washing, cleaning, cooking, and other household uses, irrigations, and industrial purposes. Besides, river and streams provide means of transportations and recreations. Water is so important that ancient civilizations settled and built towns and cities near the water sources. Freshwater distributions. You know about it that 97.5% of water on the surface of the earth is salt water and not fit for human use. Most of the little fresh water we have is frozen as ice sheet, and mountains, glaciers, lakes, ponds, rivers, and streams are the source of the fresh water. Wetlands such as swamps and marshes also have fresh water. This water is a salt free and accounts for less than 0.5% of the world's water supply. Water is not evenly distributed, and neither can it be added or subtracted, but it remains in constant motions, which you have already read about in water cycle. That the water gets evaporated with the heat of the sun, goes very high upwards in the sky, forms the clouds. After the clouds get condensed, it begins to rain as a little droplet of water over the surface of the earth. This cycling or process is going on continuously. Now let's study about the use of water. As I have explained you, and you all come to know about it, that water usage varies from region to regions and also depends on the purpose for which it is used. Water is essential for our bodies and everybody drinks it. Even animals drinks water for survival. It is used for washing innumerable things and items like clothes, vehicles, for construction and for bathing, etc. Water is used for agriculture purpose. Nearly 70% of water is used in agriculture, mainly for irrigations. The main issue is that farmers are withdrawing water at a faster rate than it is being replenished. It is estimated that 3 cubic meters of water is required to produce 1 kg of rice. According to UN Food and Agricultural Organizations, agriculture is responsible for the depletions of the most of the fresh water. It is also used to generate hydroelectricity, large-scale rivers, valley projects that provides and controls flood waters. Hydroelectricity is used across the world and it accounts for about 90% of the total electricity productions. These projects construct large dams across rivers. In all, there are 45,000 dams in the world. Canada is the largest producers of hydroelectricity, followed by the US and Brazil. Hydroelectricity provides cheap power. It also helps to reduce greenhouse gases. However, these projects have had negative impact on environment. Large dams have led to loss of forest, wildlife and biodiversity. Hundreds of peoples have been displaced, soils have been degraded by continuous irrigation and salinations. India has over 4,000 dams in operations. These are part of multi-purpose projects. That's sufficient in this video. More in the next. Thank you for listening me. Have a great day. Take care of your health. Take care on your study. Do the task carefully and once again study by yourself. The water, which one is the most important resources. So what we have discussed today, what was the discussion point of all of us today? Water as a natural resources, use of water, distribution of waters and use of water, distributions of water, water resources, fresh water distributions. In the next video we will discuss about the water conservation and scarcity of water. Okay, thank you for listening.